The wind is screaming across the frozen wilderness of remote Alaska. Snow slices through the air like tiny knives, and the temperature has plunged to an unimaginable -71 degrees Celsius. Most people would be huddled safely inside, not daring to step outside. But tonight, 75-year-old Margaret Hale walked into that frozen nightmare. She moved slowly, her breath freezing in clouds around her. But then she saw it. A tiny, shivering figure barely visible in the blizzard. It was a cat, alone and very pregnant. Every instinct told Margaret to stay in her warm cabin, to ignore the storm, but she couldn't. Something in her heart demanded she act. Before we go any further, if you love stories about courage, survival, and kindness, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, Survival and Mercy. Margaret knelt in the snow and gently lifted the fragile animal into her arms. The cat's fur was coated with frost, and she trembled so violently that Margaret could feel her tiny body shake against hers. It would have been easy to give up, to let nature take its course, but Margaret had faced harsh winters all her life, and she knew that sometimes the smallest acts of mercy could make the biggest difference. With careful, deliberate steps, she carried the cat back to her cabin, each footfall a struggle against the icy winds that threatened to knock her down. Once inside, Margaret wrapped the cat in the thickest blankets she had, creating a small, warm nest near the stove. She checked her supplies. Just enough food, a few warm clothes, and a tiny bit of medicine. Nothing luxurious, nothing extra. Yet it was enough to give life a fighting chance tonight. As she settled the cat, she whispered soft words, hoping her calm voice would ease the animal's fear. Hours passed slowly. Outside, the blizzard roared. But inside, the cabin glowed with a fragile warmth. Margaret could hear the cat's tiny heartbeat, rapid and anxious, and she knew the real challenge was about to begin. The first signs came as subtle movements, the cat curling and stretching, the quiet signs of labor. Margaret's heart pounded. She had never delivered kittens before, but instinct guided her hands. She offered warmth, safety, and patience. Minute by minute, the labor continued. Outside, the world was still a frozen wasteland, but inside this tiny cabin, life was preparing to triumph against the harshest odds. And then, it happened. The first kitten arrived. Tiny, pink, and perfect, breathing life into a world that had seemed so unforgiving just moments before. Margaret cradled the newborn gently, her hands trembling with relief and joy. One by one, more kittens followed, each a miracle born into the cold night. Margaret watched over them, her eyes moist, knowing that the warmth of human compassion had made this miracle possible. She fed the kittens, cleaned them, and watched them curl up next to their mother, safe at last. This story is more than just survival. It's a testament to courage and compassion, a reminder that even in the most extreme, unforgiving places on Earth, humans and animals can form bonds that save lives. Margaret Hale's actions reflect the spirit of survival and mercy, showing us that mercy isn't about grand gestures. Sometimes it's the quiet courage to help when no one else would, the willingness to take a risk to save a life that truly matters. As dawn broke over the frozen tundra, Margaret looked at the cat and her kittens, and for the first time in hours, she allowed herself to breathe freely. Outside, the storm raged on, but inside the cabin, there was warmth, life, and hope. Each tiny kitten mewed softly, a sound so small yet so powerful, echoing the resilience of life itself. Margaret smiled, knowing that she had made a difference, however small, in a world that often feels too harsh for mercy. Stories like this remind us that heroism doesn't always come with medals or recognition. Sometimes it comes in the form of a 75-year-old woman braving a deadly blizzard to save a pregnant cat. If this story moved you, make sure to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, or even a story of kindness you've witnessed. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family. Let them witness this incredible act of courage and compassion too. From the icy landscapes of Alaska to the warmth of Margaret's cabin, this story reminds us all, even in the coldest, harshest places, mercy and survival can walk hand in hand. And in those moments, life finds a way.